Hi, it's Di from My Enchanted Journals. I turn just about anything into beautiful handmade journals. I live in Western Australia. Welcome to my channel. There we are. Hope you can see that clearly. So you will need for today's project 1 times copying paper, all the same size. This here is a piece of the copying paper, so it's just a normal everyday copying paper. I measured it in inches. It's almost 11.75 inches, but the centimeters are exact. Number 2, 6 images for your zine, whatever you're going to choose, whether they're stickers or something you've got out of a magazine, whatever. Number 3, 2 quotes, or the leftover pages can be left blank to journal in, and just some glue. So if you want to pop off and get those things, I'll leave this up for you just like this, and you can screenshot it or whatever you like, but I'll also put it down below in the description box. All right, welcome to week 2 of Spooky Saturdays. We're going to make a zombie zine today. Now don't get hung up on the word zine. It's just the end of the word magazine, and it just means a collection of thoughts, pictures, just like a magazine really. So that's what we're going to do. So you'll be needing a printer size page. Now this one has been coffee dyed, but I got a few other things out. It's the contents of a songbook, an old piece of wallpaper, you can see there, a songbook, and it's had all bits. Just thought it would make an interesting background. And then this is an old math book. So they're all things you could use. And of course my trusty favourite is the backing paper from when I've done crafting. So you can see the patina on that is absolutely gorgeous. So my favourite so far is probably going to be that, but what I thought I would do is just cut these ones down so that they're all the size that I need, and then I'm going to try each of them out and I'll show you the results. Alright, that's them printed out. So what I've done with the printable is done, some of it will be upside down because that's the way it happens when it gets folded. So that's the tea coffee stained paper, which turned out quite nice. I love the patina. This one was a fail because I hadn't realised that the page is too short, so I won't be using that one. Then there's the math book, or the math equations, or whatever it is. That turned out okay. I kind of like the backgrounds that each little page is going to have. And then this one here was the start of a book, contents of a book page. So I quite like that because the cover has come out blank. This is the wallpaper, which, I mean, they're all good in their own way, aren't they? That will give you some background to use. Now don't worry about cover being written there. That's just so that you know that that will be your front cover. It's going to be covered anyway, so it's not going to matter. But then look at this one. This is my favourite by far. So this is the bag that's got paint and stuff all over it. And what that will do is, you know, I'll be using these sides to actually make the zine, but on the other side we'll also have this gorgeous patina. So I think this one will be the winner. So let's now move on to folding it. So what we've done is we've got our printer size piece of paper like this. We've folded it in half, and then we want to fold it in half again, and then these ones back on themselves, and this one back on itself, and then we're left with our little zine. Let's bring you down closer. Whoops, wrong way. There. So we've got our cover, which that will be covered over. It's just to let you know which way to go. ZOMBIES. All right, and then back to the cover. So we're going to move to part 2 now, which is to have your photographs, your stickers, your pictures, whatever you've chosen to make your zombie zine. Okay, so go and grab those and we'll get started on the next part. I did just want to mention before we get started that at this stage, if you're only using copying paper, you can glue it together now. But because the back of mine has got great patina like this, I'm actually going to leave it so that I can journal inside. These are the images that I've chosen. They're quite creepy. All I did was just download them and I've just printed them onto copy paper because they're going to be stuck down anyway, rather than going and getting photos. So with this whole zombie theme, you know, when people watch horror movies and things and they have the zombies in them, I just find that too scary. So I decided to do mine on zombie dollies, a little town where the dollies never sleep. And that's going to be my zombie theme for today. And I've also got this little image that I'm going to use for the front of my zine, like this, and maybe attach one of the dollies as well. Not really sure yet. So yeah, I've just inked all around the edges of them so I can start adding them to my zine. I really like that one actually, it's quite cute. And I don't know, maybe I could have just an eye or something coming out of the corner. Definitely creepy. Even this little one here. That would actually fit good, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that one might work out really good. So, get that one stuck down. And that will be our cover done though. Let's take a little bit of that off. I don't want to get rid of too much of the edging because it looks quite effective against my image here. But I could bring the image down there a bit. Just bring it down closer to the house. Then I'm getting more of the dolly in the background. I think that will work better. So when you make yours, obviously if you're a real horror fan, then you can make yours really creepy. I just don't really like that, so I'm going to tone mine down a little bit just to make it more my kind of zine rather than what somebody else might do. So there's our first little creepy dolly there. And we're going to stick this over the top just so that we've got sort of a theme. We might do some splashes of paint and stuff later. So does everybody celebrate Halloween where you are? I know when we lived in Scotland they did it. The kids always got dressed up. But like I said, in Australia we haven't done it. Not as a kid we didn't do it. But I noticed just recently that my son has started to put decorations out on Halloween. And it was really funny last year. He got some sweeties or lollies, we call them here in Australia, and he had them out and he ran back in for something and some kids came and took everything. Oh, little horrors. Alright, so there we go. We've got our cover for our zine starting to take shape. Now we want to move on to the first page, so let's open it up so that we can see it clearly and maybe lay a few things out and just see how we feel about them and decide which pages are going to be blank if we want to do some writing. If you don't want to do any writing, that's completely fine. You don't have to, of course. So we can see here, this is too wide, so I will just cut that down so that it fits on the page, and then I'll just have to re-ink it. I don't really want to cover over my Z, so I'm going to put it right up there, and then I'm going to just rip that corner, just so that I can still see it, so that it's got the theme going through it. And I'm going to get that stuck onto there. We'll add some more stuff later too. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, make clusters out of these, you can, and add them on sort of with the bits hanging over the top, which looks quite nice too. You can go and grab some fabric if you know you prefer. I'm just going to show you how to basically make it, and you can add your own stuff later, but we might add that bit on. It looks quite good. A little ditty to write in here as well, which is quite fun. So I might leave the next one blank, and then we'll head here. I've got this double one here, which I quite like the dollies. They're in rocking chairs, which would be quite scary. So I might use them on a page sort of over the back here like this, and see how we go. So this one is a very scary little dolly, and so is this one. So with this one, I think it needs something at the back. So you could use a sticker maybe, just to go behind him. I think it's a boy doll. Just gives it something at the back. Or maybe some darker fabric. I might just see if I've got anything there, and let's see if we can make a little bit of a cluster out of that. Alright, there we are. Got a couple of things. This is an old negative with a number on it, which is quite a nice feature. I've got some old sari silk. I've got some rickrack, bit of old lace, and then this tissue paper, which will make a nice background too. So let's put them to one side and have a look here. So I'm thinking maybe this in the background. Sorry about the reflection from my light. And then this. Maybe the rose still in the background. Coming across here like that. I think that would look quite cool. So we might do that one there. Might leave it so that you can see the film along the edge. Good. Alright, that's another page. We'll come back and finish these in a minute. So let's turn it over now. Have a look here. So we've got our two dolls. If I fold it, yeah. So these could go across the middle of a page. No worries at all, which would kind of be interesting. I would just have to take the edge of that off. Just in here, just so that I can see the eye. Even if I move it up. Let me just see if I can mark it. Kind of where I have to rip. Kind of there. And just rip it roughly, and then I'll just ink that again, just so that it doesn't have that white edge from the printer paper. If I put it up high, when I fold it, it should, yeah, that picture will still be in there, so that's good. But we might need something behind here before we go any further, just to cover over a bit of that corner. I'm thinking a little bit of tissue. Let's use a bit of that. I'll leave the rough part out. Like that. In fact, we could stick it going over the two pages, so let's get that stuck down. Tell you, when I started looking for like creepy dollies, or yeah, dolls that were, you know, for Halloween or whatever, boy, there was some creepy stuff that came up. Oh dear. Might need a bit more here too of the black. I think I might put that piece down just to get rid of a bit more of that blank space up there. And I'll rip that there. I'm going to try and leave that word zombies all the way around because that's our theme. And we're going to write in here, so that's fine. So let's get our dollies stuck down now, but we've got no blank spots. And we can always write something more along here as well. Still see our I. And we can still see our E. Alright, so I've left that so that I can collage underneath that. That's good. Alright, what else have we got going on here? We've got this one. I kind of like this one. I think she's real zombie looking. I don't know what people do with these dollies, but I might just rip it instead of cutting it. I would kind of like her to be... I wonder if I just rip a hole in her there so we can still see the S. And I'll ink it. I need that edge there as well. Yeah, so that's good. And then we can still see the S coming through. So let's get that glued. That's good. Alright, let's go back to the start. That one's really creepy, isn't it? Alright, let's go back to here. Have a look. Okay, so we've got our cover page. We've got page 2. We've got a page to write on or journal. We've got this one. Then we turn it over and we've got this one to write on. And then this one here needs a little bit more collaging underneath. And probably this. So let's see what we've got. We could definitely stick that over the top of there. Didn't end up using those two. Alright, let me think about that while I'm doing this. So I've got these other bits here. It's definitely a bit of lace that I could use. Stick that underneath there. Again, I don't want to cover up my I or my E, but I quite like that there. So I just need to cut out that flower maybe. Yeah, that's good. Stick that under there, like that. And a little bit more off of here. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's stick that on there. I suppose we could go right along with it. Take a little bit more off here. Yeah, I quite like that along there. That's going to be good. Alright, let's get that stuck down. So, yeah, we can still see our E. And we can still see our S. So that's good. So I just can't decide now about this. I like it because you can just see her face through it. I wonder if it'd be better over another pic. Maybe over this one. That's better. Good. So we've still got these two. Don't know that I'm going to use them, but anyway. Alright, let's do a little bit of inking in between our pages. There, that's dry now. So that's good. Great. Now I added this bit on the side here, on the edge of here, without remembering to turn the camera on, so sorry about that. Anyway, okay, so I'm thinking here I might add this little dolly's head before I write my little ditty here, because I just like the way it looks. And I might add a little bit of paper or something behind it, just make a little bit of a cluster. And I've also got these bits of I think they're covered in like a sticky tape, but they came out of an old passport, so I'm going to try and add some of those in as well, just bits and pieces here and there, just to add a little bit of interest. I've got the bit more paper here from the back of one of those other photos, so I could use a bit of that as well. And just do ourselves a little cluster. See what this looks like behind it instead. I might do that. Alright, let's glue them all together. Alright, so my little ditty that I had, I wrote it out. Okay, so it goes like this. Bring you down a little bit closer. Oh, look at him, just looking at us. Alright, so imagine a town. Imagine a town where the dollies never sleep. They're awake at night and creep. That would be there. And then another one I did was over here. I did this one. This one's funny. Dolly, Dolly, please sleep. Tonight. Dolly, Dolly, you give me a fright. Just a little bit of fun. All right, let's go back to our start, have a look what we've got going on, and see where I can add these bits that I was talking about. So I'm thinking like here, quite like just how that looks there, so I'm just going to stick it straight on. So I like that. Might do a little bit of paint as well, hoping that'll stick. It's out of a passport, so soon find out. And then we've got this one that's got the film over the top of it. It's a little bit of fun. And this one, imagine a town where the dollies never sleep. They're awake at night and creep. Yeah, that would be quite creepy. And this one, I quite like how that's turned out. Let me turn it over. Dolly, Dolly, please sleep tonight. Dolly, Dolly, you give me a fright. And then we've got our dollies and their rocking horses. And then we've got this really creepy dolly here. All right, so let's do some paint splatters and then we'll call it done. Come back and do our finishing touches and have a flip through. And here we are, it's finished. I added that bit of black lace down the side after all. So that's my cover with my little creepy dolly sticking out there. And let's just do page by page. That's the other doll under there with a little bit of film negative over the top and a little bit of rick-rack along the bottom. And then we've got our first page where we do journaling. So imagine a town where the dollies never sleep. That's kind of the theme for today. And then we'll turn it to this one, which is very, very creepy. It's probably my favourite page, and I kind of wish I'd put him on the cover, but it turned out really good. All right, let's turn it over. And then we've got the second journaling page. Dolly, Dolly, please sleep tonight. Then we move across and we've got lace here. And we've got our two dollies in their rocking chair. And then we've got our final creepy dolly here, which she really is creepy. And then mine opens up so that I can do some more journaling inside. And then we fold it back over and we're back to the start again, which is my Halloween zine. Very easy to make. I'll put the free download, I'll put that onto Coffee for you so that you can see it and use it. And I hope you enjoyed it. All right, next week is going to be bats. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you make something equally creepy and maybe tag me on Insta so that I can see it, or leave me a note down below. So thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. I'm nearly to my first 1,000, and then I'll be doing a giveaway, and the giveaway is very cool. So, yep, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.